A blessed Sunday to us. Have you heard about a Martha Club? Or do you know what a Martha Club is? And in Cebu, I don't know if you also have heard about Martha's Kitchen. Actually, this was headed by Monsignor Achilles Dakay. And Martha's Kitchen actually is a kind of an apostolate that feeds, that gives food to those who are living on the streets. But Martha Club is always an interesting description whenever there is an organization, because Martha Club is composed of people who do the sweeping, the cleaning, practically the preparation of the place before a seminar or during the seminar or right after the seminar. No? So we do not have a Mary's Club in relation to today's gospel reading between Mary and Martha, the two sisters, the best friends of Jesus. Now Mary, as it is acknowledged in the gospel, sometimes has a very murky or a very unclear or cloudy perspective or background in the Bible, because there was a time in the church that Mary, this Mary in today's gospel reading is also identified as Mary Magdalene. Although Mary Magdalene is a different person, because Mary Magdalene is from Magdala. No? She lives in the north. But this Mary that we're talking in the gospel reading today lives in Bethany, in the south. So there is a need to really identify, because there are many Marys in the Bible. For one, the Blessed Virgin Mary is Mary. No, there is also a Mary, wife of Clopas. And it's a common thing. No? So who are these two sisters? So these are significantly identified as the BFFs of Jesus, no? The best friends. Of course, together with their brother Lazaro or Lazarus. Now, a few days from now, okay, that's precisely July 29, we will be celebrating the memorial of Saint Martha. But since the memorial of Saint Mary Magdalene, which is celebrated on July 22nd, is now being promoted as a feast, the description of July 29 is already the feast of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Okay? So this is just an interesting preview of what that feast or that memorial is all about. Now let's take a look into Mary. Mary has been acknowledged as the one who has chosen the better part. And we have to take note of this, because so many readers would always would miss the point when Jesus said, she has chosen the better part. Jesus did not say the best part, by the way. No? In English grammar, di ba? When we study adjectives, no, we have the positive, comparative, and the superlative. Jesus was not using the superlative. He was using the comparative. Better. What is the, it is good, better, and best. Okay, very good. Perfect mo sa quiz nato sa English. No? So better is not best. But what is the significance of this comparative sense? Well, it is comparing. Jesus was comparing to Mary to Martha. But better is not everything. Better is a real challenge, not only to the one who has chosen the better part, because our journey of faith is a constant striving towards perfection, towards the best. No? Sometimes we even say the very best. So better here has something to do with a situation where one can still make improvements. As we always say, there is always room for improvement. And Mary represents the prayer dimension of Christian life. On the other hand, Martha, the busybody, represents the work dimension. So there are two sides or dimensions of Christian life: prayer and action. And here in this gospel reading, Jesus is actually challenging us to strike an equilibrium and balance between prayer and work and action. You know, I would always imagine, even when I read in the English, what the beautiful what the beautiful intonation would be in Cebuano. I don't know if you would imagine like that, because in Cebuano, it is said there, og ang Ginoo miingon kang Marta. No? Wa man moingon ang translation sa Binisaya nga, Marta, Marta, which is exactly correct. But there is a very beautiful way of translating this to give a local color to it. How is it done? Og ang Ginoo miingon kaniya, ay kanimo Marta. No? Nindot kay pamatio, no? Ay kanimo Marta. No? But it is actually a very interesting challenge, because for us who are listening now, for us to whom the Word of God is addressed, the greater challenge lies in striking, again I say, a balance or an equilibrium between work and prayer, or between prayer and work. Because if we are only focused on work, that is what we call activism. Just work without prayer, without reflection. And on the other hand, if we are only focused on prayer, it is called ritualism. Na sige nag-ampo niya walay buhat. No? Mo gali na nga delikado kayo ng mga tao nga kanunay ra nga mosimba niya, wala nay buhat. Adto na lang sa simbahan magpirme. No? Unsa naman lang ang mahitabo sa panimalay. Okay? Kung adto na lang ta sige sa magyango adto sa simbahan. No, that is even an interesting challenge to priests. Okay? Sometimes in the traditional understanding, priests are identified with their convents. Okay? But there are so many things to do in the parish. We have been teaching that in the seminary. We have to have apostolates. We have to have immersions. We have to converse with the people. But it's not only prayer that we are doing, inasmuch as it is not also work that we will be focusing. And that's the reason why we even have weekends. No, because it is time to be with families, to be with families in prayer, to go to the church, and to have rest as well. And this is a very beautiful dimension of Christian life, or if we say Catholic understanding, the striking of the balance between action and prayer. And with that, when we strike a balance, there is also an interesting image of Christians who are really not just about prayer but also with work. We call them active contemplatives, no? Which somehow is like murag contradiction. Take for example Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. Naara siya sulod sa monasteryo, but she is called the patroness of the missions. What is a mission? Mission is going out, but she did not go out of the monastery, but it was through her prayers and her desire, okay, that she actually became the powerhouse, sort of. Because what we want to achieve in life, apart from the many different achievements that we already have, we need a powerhouse, and that powerhouse is prayer. And this is what we continuously pray as a praying community, as a celebrating community, and as an actively participating community. And as we continue with this Eucharistic celebration, with Mary's example and Martha's example, may we be able to strike that balance, because in that balance, we have one person who holds the balance in an equilibrium. And what am I talking about? We strike the balance, both sides, and there is one that holds in the middle. And what do we call that? That is the cross. That is the symbol of real Christianity, because he offered himself to become the equilibrium in our lives through his teachings, through his words, through his prayerful example, and his deeds, most of all, until the point